Welcome to Roman to Yoga. I'm Casey. Feel free to grab some blocks and a pillow for today's yoga practice. Make your way onto your mat and stretch out long. Breathe in and breathe out. Place your hands at heart center and select an intention for today's yoga practice. Circle out your right ankle. Rest your hands on your hips to ensure that one hip doesn't hike up closer to the ceiling than the other. Close your eyes, place your arms in the T position, and then circle your knee out in the opposite direction. You can take big circles or small circles, whatever you want. Remember, this is your yoga practice, so you have to do what feels best in your body. Extend the right leg long and begin to circle out the left knee. Go slow. I don't know about you, but I can spend a lot of time rushing through life, so during your yoga practice, it's time for you to slow down. Circle your knee in the opposite direction. Breathe deeply. Draw your knees into the chest. Place your hands on your kneecaps and circle them out into one direction. Once you feel good, circle them out in the opposite direction. Find stillness. Lower the feet down towards the mat. Slowly sit up and grab your yoga pillow or bolster at this time. Place your pillow skinny ways or hot dog ways. Move your blocks to the top of the mat. Place your feet hip-width distance apart and exhale lower down onto your pillow. If you need a little bit of additional support under your neck, place the blocks under your head. Firmly press into all four corners of the feet and let your knees lower towards the ground. Clasp your hands behind your head and feel the stretch in your underarms. But if that's a little bit too much for you today, place a bend at the elbows and open and close the arms a couple of times. A little bit of movement before stillness. During today's restorative yin yoga sequence, the postures are going to be held between 3 and 5 minutes. My voice is going to go away after I set you up for the posture, which will allow you to focus on your breath, spend your time in prayer, or just notice how your body feels on the yoga mat. Breathe in and breathe out. Place your arms in the goal post position. And on your next breath, lower your right hand to touch the floor, the palm to the floor, and take your gaze to the left. And on your next breath, return your head to center, take your gaze to the right, and place your left hand down onto the floor. Feel the space in your shoulders as you slowly look right and left. Breathe in and breathe out. On your next breath, clasp your hands up and overhead. Come back to the words of your intention that you set at the beginning of today's yoga sequence. Repeat them to yourself softly. Lower your arms into the T position. Take a breath. Lower your hands to the top of your thighs and gently draw your knees together. Go slowly. Clasp your hands behind your right leg and lift and lower the right foot up towards the ground a couple of times. One breath with one movement. Inhale, lift the foot up. Exhale, lower the foot down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Next time the foot lifts, find stillness. Notice that you have a generous bend in your knee. Place the foot down and clasp your hands behind your left thigh. Lift and lower the left foot up from the ground a couple of times. Inhale, lift the foot up. Exhale, lower down. Draw your low belly in and up. Draw your chin down and back, and lift through the crown of your head. Smile to yourself softly. Next time the foot extends, find stillness. Notice that there's a micro bend in your left knee. Soften the muscles in your face. Create space between the top and bottom rows of teeth. Lower the legs long, lift the arms up overhead, and take a full body stretch. Go slow. Place a bend in your knees and sit up very slowly. Turn your shins to face the yoga mat. Place your pillow in between your knees. Rest onto your side. Place your yoga block under your head. Extend your arms out in front of you, and then trace the top arm. Look up, and then bring the hands to touch. Set this tracing movement into motion a couple of times. One breath with one movement. Inhale, feel the stretch along your chest. Look up, and then exhale, bring the hands to meet. Next time your hand traces behind you, close your eyes, soften, and feel the stretch in your underarm. You know that you're going to be here for a few minutes, so if your body begins to call you out, please do so at any time. Remember, this is your yoga practice, and you should do what feels good in your body. Breathe deeply and very slowly bring the top arm to reach the bottom palm. Rest the palms into one another. Breathe in and breathe out through your nose. Slowly sit up. No rushing. Place your feet hip-width distance apart. Lower your knees to the right, take your gaze to the left, return to the center, and lower your knees to the left and take your gaze to the right. Seated windshield wipe out your hips a couple of times. Go slow. No rushing through today's yoga sequence. And the easiest way for you, move the yoga block to the opposite side of your mat. Place your shins parallel to one another. Get comfy. Take your time. If you need a little bit of extra support in between the knees, grab your pillow, place it between your knees, draw your low belly in and up, extend your arms out in front of you and trace the top arm up and around. Bring the hands to touch and trace the arm. You've been here before. Set this movement into motion at your own breath's pace. One breath with one movement. Next time the hand reaches overhead, find stillness. If you're receiving any negative feedback in your underarm, you don't need to stretch quite as far. You want to be able to feel the stretch, but if you feel that your hand is tingling or you're losing sensation, your body is signaling that you've gone a little bit too far and it's asking you to back off. So once you find your comfortable stretch, stay there for the next few minutes. On your next exhale, bring the top hand to meet the bottom. Pause for just a moment. Breathe in and breathe out. Relax the shoulders, the eyes, the muscles around the face. This is your time to slow down, to focus your attention on the present moment. Firmly press the hands into the floor and sit up. Remove your yoga prop and windshield wipe out your hips a couple of times. Lower your knees to the left, take your gaze to the right. Lower your knees to the right, take your gaze to the left. Draw your low belly in and up. Draw your chin down and back. Soften the muscles in your face. Firmly press into the big toes. Separate your knees to the wide edge of the mat. Pull your pillow in between your knees. Adjust yourself as needed. Lower down onto the pillow. Find your comfortable position. Turn your head to look left. Rest the right cheek onto the floor. Extend the arms long and breathe deeply. Turn the face to look the opposite direction. Return your forehead to center. Walk the hands just a little bit more forward. Press into your palms and come to hands and knees. Remove the props out of the way. Curl your toes under. Extend your left leg long and shake the ankle out from left to right. Feel the stretch in your ankle and in your hip. Keep your low belly pulled in. Slow down. You don't need to be flailing your ankle around. Return to hands and knees. Extend your right leg long and turn your right foot left and right a couple of times. Bring a little bit of space in your hip joint. One breath with one movement. It's easy to flail around and go fast. It can be difficult to slow down. Return to hands and knees. Curl the toes under, sit onto the heels, sit up tall, draw your chin down and back, and roll your shoulders back a couple of times. Come back to the words of your intention that you said at the beginning of today's yoga practice. Repeat them to yourself softly a few times. Come to a comfortable, seated, cross-legged position. Draw your hands to heart center and always commend yourself for making time for you. I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.